What happened was...
Hey friends, it's so nice to see you. It's today, the time is now. You are here and the weather is outside your window.
Today's guest is a star of the world's greatest opera stages, a Grammy-nominated recording artist, an actor on stage and screen, and a producer. Please welcome my friend Anthony Roth Costanzo.
Hi.
Hi, so good to see you.
Oh, it's great to see you. I miss you.
I miss you too. I want you to pick me up and carry me in your arms.
I will, and I just can't wait for that day. How have you been? It's been, my last huge live performance was with you on the Met stage.
I know, it's crazy. I've
Yeah.
been, in fact, wait, I don't know if we have time for this, but I just
Of course
have,
we do.
I look at it every day. Akhenaten,
Yes.
sold out banner, and I'm
Yep.
like, I can't believe we had that many people in one room.
We did.
So-
We did, and people are still talking about it. It's wild. You
It's
get the messages, right? Every day.
All the time.
Yeah, every day.
But I'm good. I'm surprisingly, as you are, very busy creating things. Creating the New York Philharmonic Bandwagon was a real highlight of last year, and we did 81 performances all throughout New York on a pickup truck. But I don't know how many people know that I also produced it and did the budgets and the fundraising and the marketing and the press and all that and the programming. And so now we're building Bandwagon 2, which is going to be even more exciting than Bandwagon 1. So stay tuned, coming this spring.
Fabulous. Same concept, like pickup truck going around?
It has evolved.
Okay,
So
okay.
I can't disclose it all, but I'm
Okay.
excited for you to see the sequel. I recorded my second album, which is super exciting.
That's so exciting. In the
Yeah.
last year?
Yeah, about
Wow.
week ago we finished. I mean, we finished recording. There's a lot more. There's
Yeah.
a lot to do for
Yeah.
this album. So I'm super excited. That was like a year and a half of preparing, and actually
Wow.
it turned out to be the perfect moment to do it.
Yep.
So
Yep.
yeah. And then I have been working with New York State on their initiative to bring performance back.
Yes.
So they're doing 300 performances in the next 100 days,
Wow.
all throughout the state. And I'm one of 12 artists advising, I guess, on all that. So it turns out to be quite a bit of work, talking to other artists. What do people need? What do they want? What can we do? What can't we do?
Right.
Working with the state and the program director and everybody. So it's really cool.
That's amazing. And always leading the charge. You are. I love it.
COVID is a good time to learn a lot of things.
Absolutely. I feel like it's really this time of doing exactly that, like a collective knowledge, and we're all working together and collaborating to, overcome these challenges. And it's so important.
So important.
Yeah, such a time for teamwork, for sure. Yeah.
Exactly.
So as you know, this is a show about stories. Many of these stories have never been heard before, and it's so fun to have my friends on and share these incredible stories. So you have something to share with us today.
So what happened was I was 14 years old, and I'd done my first opera when I was 13, The Turn of the Screw by Benjamin Britten, very
Naturally. Yes.
Start. But because of that, somebody involved in that somewhere was like, oh, we're looking for a boy soprano because Pavarotti has this competition that he does every year. The winners of it do one act of a full act of an opera. They were going to do Tosca, and they wanted the Shepherd Boy.
Yeah.
And at this point, I turned 14, and they were like, can you do it? And I was like, okay. So I went to Philadelphia, the Academy of Music, where this was all taking place. And I remember on the first day, somebody brought me over to Pavarotti, and he was with his second wife, who was very young. And I was introduced to him, and he said, oh, you're the same age as my wife. And it was so strange, but really funny.
Okay.
But it was a joke, obviously.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I remember he had like a guy who walked behind him with a little stool. So if ever he needed to just sit down, he never like looked back. He just sat down. I remember one press conference where like the cast was all there and he was seated at this table in front of all the cameras and TV. You know, it was the 90s, the late 90s. So it was quite a,
Yeah.
TV thing. He was a big deal. There was like a cake that he was seated in front of, and he kept looking at it for the whole press conference until eventually he just with his hands started like eating pieces of the cake. It was really amazing. Then the best moment was we did the performance. I was sort of in the distance somewhere, I can't remember, off stage in a shepherd boy costume. And I listened, to the third act of Tosca over and over and over. And I
Wow.
felt like I knew everything. And I just thought the way he sang was so beautiful. I mean, I didn't know very much about opera. And so we were all behind the curtain, and he was sending the cast out one by one for bows. So everybody was sent out except for me. And I was like, oh, I'm assuming I don't get to bow because whatever, I sang this little shepherd boy thing. And so it was just him, and he was waiting for the soprano to bow. And he and I were back there, and I was just kind of on the other side. And he just put out his hand and was like, come with me, and then took me out by my hand and we bowed together.
Oh my God.
So that was amazing.
Wow.
And so wait, before I continue to the rest of the story, I just have to show you, I feel like I'm taking you in the house today.
I love it.
There
Oh
are,
my God.
you can see, wait, I'm trying to get the right angle. If you can see,
Oh.
okay.
Wow.
So that's us right after behind the curtain.
Oh,
But
that's so
the great
special.
part of this story is that one of the defining moments of my life that really changed me forever was this film I did when I was 15 the next year, and it was called A Soldier's Daughter Never Cries. I'd never auditioned for a film before. In the script, there was this kid who loved opera. And the monologue that he did, that was the audition monologue, was this monologue about the final scene in Tosca where she throws off the parapet. And I didn't know like what was allowed or not allowed. I got through the first audition. I did the monologue. It went okay. So they brought me in for a callback, and James Ivory was there, the director. In the middle of it all, I just decided, as I was describing her jumping off the parapet, that I should sing O Scarpia avanti addio, like in Tosca range, very high, because I knew that whole scene from Pavarotti. And I did. I sang Tosca, like part of the ending thing of Tosca. And I just remember James Ivory was so taken aback by the fact that this 15-year-old was singing countertenor in Tosca. And I really think that's what got me the role in this film, which went on to just change my whole life because of the way I understood performance and art and style and all kinds of things. And also because James Ivory became a close mentor and friend of mine and still is at 92 or so.
Wow. Oh my God.
That's my
amazing.
story for the day. That's what happened.
You gave them no choice but to hire you. They couldn't not hire you.
They couldn't. Yeah.
Like,
I was just like, I think this is me, and it's mine.
Like it would have been incredibly bad luck and the movie would have been cursed if they didn't hire you after that.
Exactly.
Did you know at that moment, like, oh, I have to be an opera singer for a living, or what?
I kind of did, actually. Like, that's the other thing about Pavarotti is like, being around that. And it was kind of touching the golden age in a way.
Yeah.
I thought, this is so beautiful and so expressive and so incredible. And people loved it so much. That's the other thing is, the packed Academy of Music screaming for Pavarotti.
Yeah.
And understanding how beautiful that was, but also how excited it got people. That's what I really thought, like, this is exciting. That excitement that Pavarotti unleashed is still there. It's just like in our day and age, in our time, with our voice, how do we unleash that? And so every project I do is trying to answer that question in one way or another.
Well, that was such a beautiful story. Can I ask you some questions now?
Let's do it.
Okay. Where are you right now?
I'm in New York City in the West Village in my apartment.
Zodiac sign.
Taurus.
First show you ever did ever.
The King and I was 8.
Favorite work of art.
The Garden of Earthly Delights, Hieronymus Bosch.
Yes. Favorite musical ever.
9.
Call from the Vatican. Yeah, absolutely.
In a very unusual way.
That's good. That's a great answer. First opera you ever saw.
Probably The Marriage of Figaro.
Favorite actor ever.
Giulietta Massina, married to Fellini, Knights of Cabiria. You must see it. Betty Davis is, always.
Yeah.
I mean, she exists.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's like not acting. You're just like, yeah, got it.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
I like those people who really burn the screen.
Do you believe in past lives?
I think so, because I learned how to speak Italian in 2 weeks, from 0 to fluent. And there are just certain things that appear in your body in a certain way. And so I think that makes sense.
Who were you in a past life? Perhaps it seems you were Italian.
I might have been Italian. The Hungarian and Italian parts of me, I'm half and half, come through in strange ways.
You can only listen to one singer for the rest of your life.
Ella Fitzgerald.
Coffee or tea?
Tea.
Favorite color?
Purple.
Favorite food?
Pasta.
Best vacation ever?
I love Paris so much, and I remember there was one trip where I got to sing at Versailles, and we did Act 1 in the Royal Theatre, Act 2 in the Royal Chapel, and Act 3 in the Hall of Mirrors, on a stage that was so high that I had to duck not to hit my head on the chandeliers.
Wow. And
they set off fireworks during the Royal Fireworks music outside the windows of the Hall of Mirrors, and I was like, this is cool. I didn't have to work that hard. It was amazing. I was in Versailles in a palace. It felt like an amazing vacation. And then I got to go to Paris and eat pastries. And
Paris. It's the red carpet of a film that you're starring in. Who are you wearing?
Henrik Vibskov or Walter van Beirendonck.
Favorite song ever?
I think I'm going to be silly and say I Got Rhythm. It's the first song I ever sang.
Yeah.
The meaning of it is if you have art in your life and love in your life, you don't need anything else.
Best sick day excuse?
You're not actually sick, but you need the day off.
Yeah.
Blew out my voice practicing for the day that I was supposed to have, and I need to be on complete vocal rest in order to recuperate or something.
This is you could have dinner with anyone who's ever lived, but I'm giving you a whole weekend. So you can have a whole weekend away with anyone who's ever lived.
Maria Callas. I'm going to add to that Rose Murphy, who's one of my all-time favorite jazz musicians. Plays all her own piano and forgets all the words and just says chi-chi.
Oh, I love that.
Chi-chi girl. So she's just chi-chi, chi-chi. And I feel it would be fun to have their two energies together. Maybe also Jean Cocteau, because I would love to come out of the weekend with a beautiful, just casual kind of line drawings of everything.
Yeah.
And a nice screenplay. I guess we have to say Akhenaten, right?
You would cook the most amazing dinners for everyone. So
I love to cook.
You're not in showbiz, you're not music. What's your backup dream job?
Running showbiz or music.
Yes.
But if I weren't that, I would be in food. I'd be opening a restaurant or cooking or, a business. Actually, my friends and I have a really good, I shouldn't give this away. Don't use it. It's under copyright. We want to open okay, I think it's a great idea. So don't shoot it down. The new trend after the cronut or whatever, fancy food thing. The new trend is going to be gourmet jello in all different flavors, black currant jello with rose, cream on top. and it's locale, right?
Yeah,
Like it
yeah.
can be locale. And we can have savory like aspics. And so the whole place is called Aspicious. And it's like a little Jello shop.
Yeah. I think it could work.
For a minute.
Like only in New York, but
Only in New York.
yeah. But I said go for it.
Hazelnut, like mango Jello combo. You know, like a scoop of this, a scoop of that, a little whipped cream.
Yeah. No, I'm into it. Yeah, I'll be there.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah. Pitch me a new musical or opera.
A musical or an opera with no story. There's no story. Why do we always need a story? A 100% abstract piece.
I would be there on opening night in the front row, but I'd prefer to be in it.
Yes, you'll be in it. Don't worry.
Thank you. Okay.
Without you.
Very good. I will carry you if you need.
Perfect.
You can go to any planet.
I want to go to the moon. I've always been fascinated by the moon, and it's not a planet, I guess, or is
No,
it?
it's cool. No, it's not. But you can go there. You can live in any time period.
1710 to 1730 kind of era.
Right. Your very favorite composer is writing a new show for you. What is it?
I think what it is, strangely enough, is like my favorite play that I've read in the past 5 years, which is by Jenny Schwartz, and it's called God's Ear. And it is so bizarre, but I want someone to make that into something.
You can spend an entire year living as another person. Who is it?
I would spend an entire year living as Cardi B. Like, she's so free in ways that I am so envious of. Like, I'm sure it's different to be her, but it just seems like she's on top of it. She's awesome. She doesn't really care. Like, things are not gonna like get her down. She's not gonna be anxious about stuff. Like, you know where she is, but like, she's having a good time, and I want that.
You can go back in time, any time in your life, as you now, and tell your younger self at any moment in your life one thing.
I was working like all through my puberty, adolescence, teenage years so much. I never learned how to ride a bike. I didn't do any sports or anything. I was just like really working on art, which was great. But I wish I spend so much time trying to like work out and be in shape now. And it's such a time suck. And if I had done it when I was young, I feel like it would have set my body up in a different way.
Maybe not.
Maybe not.
Bodies.
Bodies are so annoying. I know.
Yeah, fascinating.
Yeah.
Respect for bodies. What's the meaning of life?
The meaning of life is connection. You know, that's really all that gives life meaning, is my connection to other people or something in particular. The meaning of life is connection.
Yeah. What's the high note of your life? Yeah. What's the low note of your life? Wow. Well, this has been so amazing to be here with you.
So great. Thank you for
Thanks for coming on. Yeah, of course.
And it makes me happy just to see you, and we will be in the same room again soon.
Absolutely, we will.
That's all for today's episode. Puppies and rainbows till we meet again. What do you think? Yeah, I think so too.